This week, several House committees will meet to consider parts of their budget bill, which make up President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill of his domestic agenda. House Speaker Mike Johnson insists the process is on track. To be clear, other Republicans and everyone else we're talking to are saying the exact opposite, because Republican infighting could be derailing all the plans. President Trump added a new wrinkle this past week by pressing Speaker Johnson to raise taxes on some of the wealthiest Americans. And proposed cuts to Medicaid are still a major sticking point, especially among vulnerable swing district Republicans. Joining us now, Nevada Congressman Steve Horsford, a member of the House Ways and Means Committee and the Problem Solvers Caucus. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. Behind the scenes, it's very clear that Republicans are iffy on this bill, especially on the Medicaid part of this. How are Democrats using the kind of levers of influence you guys have with Republicans to remind them maybe that like this might be a bad thing for them come 2026?
Well, thank you for having me on. It's great to be here. Happy Mother's Day. Look, it's the people who are in charge, and it's the people who are putting the pressure on their elected officials. Republicans who, this is really a screw America bill. This is not the big, beautiful bill. It's a big, ugly bill that is going to enact an enormous amount of pain on the American people by cutting the largest cut to Medicaid in our history, directly affecting those who are on Medicaid and everyone else's health care as well. It's going to cut nutrition assistance programs for children and for seniors. They are going to strangle Social Security and Medicare. To do what? To give a permanent tax break to Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. We believe as Democrats that permanent tax cuts should go to moms and dads, to small business owners, not to billionaires, and definitely not on the backs of the American people. But that's what Republicans in Congress are seeking to do. And to be clear, they're going to do this in the dead of the night.
Well, that's what I want to ask you about. What is the projected timeline? What should we be watching for this week as this debate over cuts that are frankly going to be really politically unpopular in some Republican districts, especially those districts that are purple districts? And it's just not, these are not cuts that are going to be politically popular.
Right. If it's a big, beautiful bill, then do it during the day. Have Republicans stand out before the American people and explain exactly what they're doing. But instead, 3 committees will start to meet on Tuesday. I suspect that we will meet into the night, into Wednesday morning, and later to cut Medicaid, to cut nutrition programs, and to give the biggest tax cut to billionaires over the American people. And I am asking everyone to pay attention at 2, 3, and 4 o'clock in the morning, not 2, 3, and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because they are going to attempt to do this in the dead of the night. That's how cruel, that's how chaotic this policy is by the House Republican caucus.
Congressman, I mean, you are a member of the Ways and Means Committee, and that is the most powerful committee in the House because it writes the tax laws. And so you are going to be smack in the middle of the fight. I'm just wondering, given all the reporting we've read, do the Republicans actually have the votes to pass this big, beautiful bill, as the president calls it, or the Screw America bill, as you called it in your first answer? Will you be working into the night for weeks on end?
Well, first, led by Ranking Member Neal and the Democrats on the committee, as well as Leader Jeffries in his office, we're already been working. It's Sunday. We don't even have the bill. WTF, who's in charge? Well, if it's such a great bill, where is it? Where is it, Donald Trump? Where is it, Chairman Smith? Show me the bill. Don't wait until Tuesday at 2 o'clock and provide us a substitute in the form of an amendment. Put it on the desk right now. I'm prepared to offer, and my colleagues, the Democrats on the committee, to offer amendment after amendment. We are not going to allow them to screw America, the people of America, in the dead of the night and get away with it. We're going to challenge them on every front. And no, Republicans, you know what they're planning to do? They don't even have agreement on some of the major provisions.
Right.
They're going to say we'll keep debating this out of committee to the Rules Committee. Now, I know this sounds like a whole lot of process, but what it means to the American people, you're about to get screwed by Republicans in Congress and Donald Trump because they care more about their billionaire donors and giving them tax breaks than they do you and your family. And that's why this is such a critical moment and why the American people really do have the power to put pressure. We only need 4 Republicans to break from this cruelty, from this chaos, and from this corruption, and to join a coalition of Democrats to get this done another way.
And what's your count with the 4 Republicans? If
Who
you're
are the
whipping
4
votes, who would that be?
Name some
Like
names.
maybe you get Thomas Massey because he doesn't want the deficit
Right.
to balloon even more. But after Massey,
Roy.
Sadly, you have some Republicans who want to cut even more, who aren't in agreement. Then you have 10 Republicans who've said publicly, at least, that they don't want to support the Medicaid cuts at the level that is currently proposed, nearly $1 trillion, $880 billion. You cannot make cuts in the Energy and Commerce Committee at that level without cutting Medicaid. And to be clear, Nevada, the state I represent, we're the 3rd most impacted state if these cuts go through, in part because we did the right thing with the Affordable Care Act to expand that coverage. What did that do? It helped us cut the rate of uninsured by 1/3. Half of those who were uninsured were children. We've done the right thing. Now, under these Republicans in Congress, they want to take us back to the days where people have to pursue health care in the emergency room. I have a rural part of my district that doesn't have prenatal care or OBGYN services. You cut Medicaid, those women in rural Nevada and rural America are going to get screwed too.
What do the Republicans you're talking to, do they get this? Do they understand? Because when I talk to them behind the scenes sometimes, what I hear is that they know it's bad, but they're worried about what Trump is going to do. Is it that kind of culture of fear that's driving them? Yeah. Or are there just different factions, so many different factions within the party, it doesn't matter?
Well, they should be more concerned with what their constituents are going to do. They have people who are being affected by the cuts on Medicaid and the cuts to nutrition programs and the cuts to veteran services and the cuts
in red districts
are in they're in their districts too, but they're too afraid to listen to them. They won't have town halls. They won't speak before the people and actually defend themselves. They're capitulating to Donald Trump and his cruelty. Meanwhile, they're doing absolutely nothing to stand up on behalf of their constituents. We are a separate branch of government. I don't work for Donald Trump, and I sure in the hell don't work for Elon Musk. I work for the people. And it's time that we return the people's house to the people. And we're going to do that next November when we elect Democrats and make Hakeem Jeffries the next speaker. That is how we're going to prevent 4 years of constant devastation from Donald Trump and congressional Republicans.
Congressman Stephen Horsford, I'm going to rename you Pastor Stephen Horsford.
Sunday.
On fire. Congressman Horsford, thank you very much for coming to the weekend.
Thanks for having me.